And howdy, folks.
Hello, it is Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. It's 5:30, and it's live from the workbench.
Tell it all Tuesday. If you got questions, we got all the answers.
We got answers. They may not match your question, but we've got answers.
We got all the answers that you can shake a stick at.
So, sunrise is already here. Eat more possum, aka Sparky.
Sparky.
TJ Who? East Coast Roads has a question. We're gonna circle back to that in a second. Yellow Rose Drones Lee. One Vision Ariel Dustin. And Michael Boy. Boy.
More from
Whatever.
Boy.
Then we got Chet Kovacic, and I think we've got them all now. Howdy, fellas. Nice for y'all to come join us. And, well, I guess we can tackle East Coast real quick here. We'll put them in there. Mini 2SE 4 times now, separate locations in the past 3 days, will be 20 feet away, 10 foot high, and disconnects from the drone. So your controller disconnects from the drone? Is this a brand new buy? Did you just recently purchase this?
Yeah, we need to fill in some blanks first, and then possibly offer some solutions.
If you just recently bought it, you want to send it back to DJI. That sounds like the antennas and the controller are not hooked up.
Here's another. Where in the world are you? Where's your my camera is doing wacky things? You notice that?
Well, you're so wacky, I can't tell the difference.
Yeah, if we could ask, where's the location? I want to do some location studies.
Yeah.
So it's a connection issue, and then
you got it 3 months ago, so you've been flying it for a while now.
So it's Florida. Okay. I'm just looking for places with lots of restrictions.
What part of Florida?
Northern Florida. What area? Like,
give us a metro area.
Yeah, metro.
We don't need your address, just a metro.
Yeah.
Just a larger town.
We're just looking for TFRs and stuff like that.
Yes, Wi-Fi can be tough, but you dropped that remote just right, and you might disconnect that UFL connector antenna inside.
Let's see. Yeah, that's I'm just trying to figure out the metropolitan area so we can figure out a map issue.
I'm not sure if I just disconnect and then I can land it. I will stay here.
We're looking for possible TFRs and airspace issues because all that can play a role. So yeah, if you could help us with location, because there's
hold on. He's got iPhone.
Port Charlotte. So I'm just gonna. We're looking for like possible, like right now. If you're in
here, I think his phone and his controller.
It could be your cable. That's an issue. I've had cable issues where you've got a bad
near big power lines.
You said Port Charlotte?
Yeah.
Like if you're flying in Denver right now, you can't. The whole freaking city, the whole area is completely TFR'd right now. So if you're in Colorado, I could totally understand. because there's VIP. There's like four giant freaking orange circles around Denver. But I'm looking around to see if there's any. Um,
So he's just outside of Fort Myers.
yeah. Florida has all kinds of fun.
Oh.
Yeah. There's that.
Yeah, we got lumber drives in the house, and I see Jackrabbit popped in here too. Scott.
Yeah, I don't see anything special going on in Fort Myers in that area.
Yeah, I don't think it's. There's flying fine after land and power cycle it. You want to chat with DJI? I would highly recommend you get a hold of DJI. If you bought this thing new from DJI or from an authorized dealer, that's who you need to be talking to. Because if it's a bad cable, power cycle wouldn't do any good.
You were also talking about RID too. There could be RID issues.
Yeah, there could be a remote ID issue. There could be. Did you flash firmware? Did you have a firmware update on that thing recently?
There has been. I know that for sure.
Screen goes blank, but it automatically comes back on and it starts returning. But after that, turn off and it works fine. And iPhones have that bad habit of turning off their screens.
I've had some disconnects with the RC. I've had a couple of occasions where the RC just disconnects, but that's the RC. That's not the N1. You're flying with the N1. I've never had that happen with the N1 where I got a strange disconnect, but the DJI RC, I've got. To me, I'm
Jackrabbit. You say if they get too hot, he's in South Florida, so it's been warming up.
Yeah, it has to get awfully hot.
Out in the sun, it doesn't take long for those iPhones to start simmering down.
Yeah, if it's your phone that's just going black, that's just having an iPhone. If all it's happening is that your screen starts to get dim and it goes black, that has nothing to do with your drone. It has everything to do with your phone. So if that's what you're facing, that's one of the only advantages of going with a tablet.
So
flying with a tablet.
He bought it through Amazon. Got a hold of Amazon.
Yeah,
you'd be surprised. They're pretty good about keeping their customers happy.
I don't think it's dumb.
Or you were one of the lucky ones and ended up with somebody else's problem.
I don't think you're dumb buying it through Amazon. I mean, they got a really liberal return policy, so I don't see that as being. I don't think you made nothing wrong with Amazon.
I don't know what OS, what version of OcuSync. I don't even know that they are on OcuSync. I think the SE, you've got the SE.
Yeah, the SE is.
Isn't it Wi-Fi?
Yeah, it's enhanced Wi-Fi. Let me just look it up. I've I've not had any significant issues with the connectivity with the two at all yet. I've flown it pretty aggressively. I just want to see. It's got a different transmission rate for sure. For video, it's a slower transmission rate, so it's. Let me just look really quick here. The SE is it's
Scott.
okay. The SE has got the same transmission system as the Mavic Air 2. So they both have 10-kilometer ranges. And the Mini 2, the Mini SE, they're all the same. The Air 2S is the new version. Same thing with the Mini 3 Pro. And so
firmware updates, and you might want to you can always talk to DJI. What's the worst thing that can happen? They shut you down and not talk to you. But at least try it. And here's Jim's droning in the house.
Yeah, he's getting
Jim, consider yourself lucky. I went and took your goodie envelope to the post office. And let me tell you, you be the last one I'm shipping international to. The hoops I had to jump through to get a freaking coaster to you was just amazing. I had to fill out a complete custom form because the guy at the post office says, well, even a coaster has a value.
I have one last statement as far as he's saying that his phone's got the regular connection, that the phone is fine. I've had problems with just bad OTG cables. Just connect a different cable between your phone and your controller. That can be an issue.
Well, he's going to talk to Amazon. He'll keep us updated.
Yeah.
Hex drivers. Where the heck can you get good ones? I had multiple from various vendors, and they all strip out. I don't know. I've got a set here from, I believe I bought Race Day Quads. These things? I think I got them from Race Day Quads. Nothing stripping here. Maybe it's just too rough on the equipment. Speaking of equipment, you might want to look at one of these. Because what you had happen shouldn't have happened. Your smoke stopper should have stopped all of that.
Yeah, that was a real unfortunate whole turn of events. That was
to bring you all up to speed. He bought a Cinnabot 30 from Gep RC in pieces and put it together himself, and soldered all up. Power cycled it on the power supply, got everything set up, then plugged in the battery, and the fireworks begin, aka what we call them Sparky now. And so I get an email. What do you think? Tell them polarity, and sure enough, it was reverse polarity. The Gep RC, the pigtail that they shipped to him was the XC60 connector, The XT60 connector was soldered on backwards. So but anyway, your smoke stopper, even with the power supply, and if you put the right power on it, you send it through a smoke stopper backwards, and that shouldn't have happened. So I've got this one. This is the Wi-Fi smoke stopper, or Short Saver 2. Wi-Fi. Yeah, Wi-Fi Short Saver 2. That's this thing. And I've been having real good experience with this. Because you were not the only one building the Cinewhip over the weekend, you know. Just saying. So
yeah, I'm looking to see.
Yeah, shipping to the US is dirt cheap. Shipping out of the US is freaking expensive as hell.
Yeah, it's because we don't embargo anybody's crap. We have no freaking tariffs, and we'll take everybody's crap, but they won't let us give us their crap. Yeah, I was looking to see some more images.
So anyway, mine is a wonderful thing, huh?
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. You just don't expect something that simple destroying something, that, you're just looking at the polarity of the XT60 plug, their XT30 plug.
Yeah, I mean, if you order it, you would expect it to be
right. I don't think that's asking too much.
But I mean, I was, when I was putting this thing together too, the freaking Flywoo just puts a little red marker on one side. Really that don't give me the warm and fuzzies either. But
yeah, because we're assuming that they.
But yeah, so I guess I should start with a major update on my part here. The FAA and their infinite wisdom did a little change to the airspace above me. Let me go here.
Yep, Kai
I got a huge Christmas present. Let me share the screen. There we go. I get 50 feet to fly. 50-foot AGL. Auto approval. I am thrilled. I finally can go out in the backyard and test fly, test hover, or just buzz around the house without pissing anyone off.
Yeah, that's a big time game changer, just to do anything, just the little flights, those little.
Yeah. Well, I mean, up until now, I mean, I recently found a park that's only 20 minutes from me that I could go fly. But, whenever I was doing stuff, I was either heading out to the lake or I had another little patch that was half an hour away. But, pack up all your tools, pack up everything, head on out there. It every time gets to be a major production for a little test flight. And now I can just step out the back door and buzz around the backyard.
Yeah, we just take it. We take it for granted that we can do it.
So whoever at the FAA came up with this idea, thank you.
Yeah, Jackrabbit was asking me about the MP3. About yeah, I think the big thing that's different about this version that's different than the first version. First of all, you had all the firmware issues with version 1 and all the updates. And this one, to me, the big difference is the 70 millimeter camera. That is the other. I don't even use the other camera. I don't use the 1/2 inch camera. At 70 mil is freaking just unbelievable. You go between the 24 and the 70. Those are the only two. If they would put that on the new Air 3, assuming they do this Air 3 project, which is coming, if they have those two cameras on there, oh my God. I mean, that would be literally the perfect drone. I didn't mean to segue into any Air 3 discussions either. I'm just saying those two cameras I use all the time. I'm switching back and forth. And flying it, I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's the best drone available as far as flying characteristics and get out of the box and throw it in the air.
It'll never cease to amaze me how many people think that we go out and spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on a drone just to spy on them.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, it is unfreaking real.
Yeah, that's my life's goal, is to freaking give a crap about your stuff. I really don't care about you or your crap.
But, there's a flip side to that medal. And I already warned you about that earlier. I'm going to have this little rant. Just because you can fly somewhere does not mean you should. And, we had a major holiday here. Not the day to go out to the park to fly a drone. Not when a park is packed. Legally, you can. I get it. But I would recommend don't. You don't need to aggravate. You don't need to aggravate anyone, and you don't need to deal. You don't want to deal with that aggravation either. Just because you can doesn't mean you need to. I mean, you told me your pilot buddy friend says he goes out of his way to avoid confrontation wherever he can, right?
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into deciding where you're going to fly and why you want to fly there. And to me, I always look for places where I'm not going to bug anybody. I don't want the confrontation. Even if I believe I have the right, it gets down to that. And then it's not enjoyable. It's all, to me, if it's enjoyable, then there's really not a lot of restriction, meaning that there's no people I'm going to bug. I'm not threatening anybody's,
Yeah. But if when I hear big channels, big drone channels here on YouTube say it's unethical to do it, but the FAA don't care about unethical. They only care about legal or illegal. So it's unethical to fly there. I'm going to fly there anyway.
Right.
You know, there's nothing funny about that. It's just more confrontation, and we don't need that shit.
Yeah, it gets down to just having. I don't know. I'm not going to tell anybody how to fly for sure. I mean, I do enough stuff that people believe is questionable, but I don't bug anybody. And if somebody does, I do bug somebody. I find ways to not bug them. Like this weekend when I did that flight, when I did my Mavic 3 flight in that neighborhood with all those beautiful houses. My biggest concern when I looked around to find the street that I was picking is I didn't want to wake people up. I didn't want to cause attention to myself. I wanted to have peace and quiet, just like the reason why they moved there and decided that was the place they wanted to build a house. So I'm not going to come into that neighborhood and be that guy. And what I love about the Mavic 3 is it's quiet. I mean, I lift straight up, and by the time I get 50 feet in the air, you can't even hear it. And I listen to the neighborhood. And the one thing I did hear this weekend when I was flying, right before I flew, I heard contractors. I heard construction music. And I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be bugging anybody today because all I hear is mariachi bands.
Yeah. Tejani music.
Yeah. So I knew, and then there were people on roofs working, and I'm like, this is the perfect place. Their noise is louder.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what went through my head deciding where I'm going to fly, you know. And then of course I pick routes where I'm going to be the least amount of impact. So if there's people hiking, I don't fly over the hiking people. Not because I can't, but because I don't want to bug their experience out in the wild, you know? So I go, you know, I move 100 feet to the right or the left. But that's a personal choice, you know?
Well, just see Akirasho joined us. Northeast Strong Production is here too. And Jim and Scott apparently have a little spat going on here. But y'all play nice now. Don't make me come back there and deal with both of you. So, well, tomorrow is the big day for this guy to go back to.
Yay!
Matty just pop into. Hey, Matt.
I miss him. I want to fly him.
We finally figured out the GPS issue. We installed a new flight controller.
More money. That was the problem.
We already replaced. So if you have any thoughts of buying a Speedy Bee stack, just don't.
Yeah.
We went through. This is the third ESC in here now, and the second flight controller.
2 flight controllers and 2 sets of motors.
And yeah, second set of motors.
So we basically built 2 drones.
Well, it's also a second GPS on here.
Oh, that's right. But now it's perfect.
It flies good now.
Yeah, it does. It's great. It's got beautiful footage. I'm excited. I'm excited to have it back. And it's unfortunate what happened, but sometimes you just get a lemon, you know?
It's just been, yeah, it's not been fun. I've had that thing tore apart so many times, cussed that thing and everything else. So it's been, yeah, it's been all right. But hopefully now we got it figured out. So tomorrow it's going in the box and it's going back home. Released from rehab.
Released from rehab.
Yeah.
I want to share something really quick. I just wanted to
Right.
it was I just want you to see the difference between the two shots. Just this is just a really good example of a 70 millimeter shot. So this is a 70 millimeter. And then I'm just going to back it up one click. I'm just going to back it up to the 24 millimeter. That's the difference of that shot. And all you have to do is change the camera. So instead of zooming in, you just switch the camera. And that's what I think makes this, such a good flyer. You've got, see, look at how far, obviously I've got different footages kind of, there it is. But I mean, that's actually really a pretty picture, but I'm at a safe distance, right? And if I wanted to, and then the other thing, remember we were talking about bugging people. Okay. This is a place where there's a lot of people that like to climb. If you look at that jagged edge right there, people will like that. They like to like free climb it. It's a learning area for people that want to do rock climbing. Well, I can take a picture of the river and they don't even know I'm there. So that's the idea. So I just thought that would be kind of a good example of those two shots kind of working together. There's better shots than that too, for sure. So I've got the same.
I had to drop my camera, so
I've got different perspectives with the different shots.
So yeah, I found out on Saturday. So my girlfriend's son is here to visit us right now. He's in the Navy, and he escaped for about 2 weeks. So he came home, and we were talking about flying drones and what have you. And he's like, "How do you know where you can fly?" I was like, "Oh, there's an app for that." And went on the app, and I'm like, "Whoa, wait a minute! There's something new here." And sure enough, I can get auto approval for Lang and sign right up for it, charge up batteries, and start buzzing around the house. I was like a kid on Christmas morning.
Yeah, like I said, that was a huge. I mean, you can't take it for granted. Sometimes where you can just fly. I can't fly in my house because my dog freaking freaks out. It has nothing to do with the FAA. And yeah, I have to go anytime I want to fly. I gotta leave my yard. I gotta go down the street. But I don't have to go a mile. I don't have to go 10 miles. I don't have to go an hour away, And that's what you had to do. Or at least go farther than you wanted to.
Yeah. Well, last place I lived at, I was in the no-fly zone from the Air Force Base. And now, we're not within shouting distance of the airport. So the new Cinewook 4S or 6S, of course it's a 6S. What else would you expect from me?
Yeah. What else would you fly with?
So this is a 6S 3.5 inch. This
beast.
is the Axis flying Cineon 35. I've put a F745 Evo all-in-one Flywoo flight controller on it. You can see it right there. It's got little LEDs off to the side, which really makes it look neat. And then I've got Walksnail Avatar for VTX underneath there. Got the dual antennas. This is the old, the V1 Avatar. It's got the silicone pads in there for soft mounting the flying camera. So I may just end up replacing the VTX in this thing was the new V2.
I mean, you save an awful lot of money too by not putting an O3 air unit in it. I mean, it's a really doable build, you know.
Well, O3 air unit, I mean, this is a Cinewhoop, so it's made, it's got soft mount.
Yeah, it's made to haul a big camera. It's not made to haul.
It's made to haul a camera. So
right.
I've only got one good flight in with it right now. Was a 6S 1,000 mile battery. Got me 6 minutes of flight time. Yeah, it's something to work with. I'll probably go and put a bigger battery on here. Like I've got 1,400 mile 6S batteries. Probably get me about 10 minutes flight time. I'll be good with that. It's got 2204 motors. And of course, I put the Gemfan 5-bladed props on there. It came with 3-bladed props. I decided to go for the 5-bladed for the better control. I cut off this little piece of foam right there because that's where the access is to the VTX for the download. It's kind of tricky to get to, but it is doable. Did put a Flywoo M10. Come on. So there's the Flywoo V3 GPS on it.
Sounds amazing too. It sounds a lot like the Avata, different, little bit different pitch, but the 5-bladed propeller has a specific sound to it. Is it loud? They're all
it is loud. Every Cinewhoop is loud.
Yeah, they're just not quiet. They're not the props are not they move too fast. So it creates that high pitch. You really can't make a silent. At least I don't think you can. I mean, somebody will figure it out and prove me wrong, but
it's where the air passes over, and this one actually has a pretty tight clearance between the props and the guard. This is one of the tighter Cinewhoops I've seen. Usually there's a bit more of a gap.
Right.
But yeah, no.
You threw that together pretty fast.
I mean, yeah, I'm going to do a little bit of tuning to it yet, but I mean, just default pits on this, it did fine.
So Brent, is his a 4S? I'm guessing his is Possum's a 4S. It's the 3.0. I didn't look at.
No, he's got on 6S.
He's got 6S. I didn't look closely at the.
No, he's had on 6S for the added sound effect when he plugged in the battery.
Little extra dig.
The only problem was the O3s on the V2 goggles is it forgets the bind. So when you switch from DJ and do it yourself or OG FPV to the 03 unit, you have to rebind every time. Even if you switch back from the 03 to the old Vistas, every time you switch, you got to rebind. The WTF OS guys have a fix to where when you go from the Vistas to the 03 unit, it won't forget to bind, but the other way around, it still forgets to bind. So it's still a pain in the neck, regardless. You know, the 03, for the amount of money and the fact that you cannot get a replacement lens for that blessed thing. Right now, you have to buy a new camera, and that's gonna be what, $90? What does a 03 camera sell for these days?
03s, same price, $229. What is it?
No, not the full unit, just the camera.
Oh, just the camera.
$109. Yeah, get FPV as them in stock for $109 for the camera module. So you crack the lens, you cannot buy a $10 lens, $15 lens again to
Right.
replace it. You got to replace the entire camera. And with a wide angle as you have, that camera sits pretty unprotected in the front. Which is one
sucks.
thing I don't care about too much on this thing either. That camera is sticking out too much. It's sitting out.
You can still put the rubber.
Yeah,
cone.
I'm gonna print out one of those cones to put around it.
Yeah, the cone of destiny, the cone of saving your freaking lens. Like that, little cone. That's all it takes. And I've broke a couple of lenses.
And you know, but then you go get the Integra goggles or the goggles too, and you can switch back and forth between the 03 and the Vista unit without having to rebind every time you do. But then you don't have to freaking auto record on the Vistas or the old Air units. You have to manually turn on the record, and it's not in the menu. So actually, I kind of misspoke last week. To get to the main menu, you put that rocker switch out. To get to the recording menu, you take that rocker switch back toward you. And trust me, it's a pain in the neck. I'm seriously considering ditching the Integras. Speaking of Integra, we do have an update on the Integras.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did see that. I did see you got it. Yeah, I was going to ask you about this.
We finally got the right foam, and see how much thicker that thing is at the bottom.
And that one came from.
This came from iFlight.
iFlight. Okay, I remember when you told me.
Yeah, and I've actually cut this foam a little bit right here, so it won't be resting on my nose. But
those are right.
This foam fits really, really well.
I was waiting for that.
So I have zero light leak in these things. There's still some vignetting going on because
you can't get stuck on them.
You can't focus these things up right. But it's basically just peel and stick the Velcro back onto the goggles, and then put the foam on. And now that we have to compare some, they did send me the wrong ones, because we can actually see the difference now side by side.
Oh yeah, gosh, that's not even close. And just think of how easy of a fix that is.
Yeah, no, they just completely screwed that up. They packed the wrong foam.
Integra sponge foam pad.
Yeah, I'll look like Batman now.
Yeah, $13 or $14, and obviously you have to ship it, which is
$5.
Yeah, so that's
so you're looking about $20 bill.
And you got
it actually got here pretty quick.
You have to order the type Bs too.
Yeah. They have two different ones, type A and type B. Type B is for us North Americans and Europeans. They call it the narrow version. Matter of fact, I can pull that up while we're.
Yeah, I've got them on. I've got it on right now because I thought I ordered them, but I'm ordering them right now because when I fly to Kai 2, I want to fly with the new freaking goggle freaking foam.
And Bob Casey's in the house. Hey, Bob. Let's see.
I was waiting for your approval on those.
Yeah, you were waiting for my failure before you get you off. So we got a type A and a type B. Here, we'll make this a little bigger. $14 in stock. But the type Bs, yeah, this is finally getting somewhere with that foam. It's very comfortable. It's a lot wider. I had the Power Drone foam too. That was a lot narrower. And I actually had to put layers of double stick tape under the bottom to kick up the bottom of the goggles. And I did have light leak around the outside, which I don't have any light leaks on these. So still have that issue with the recording, but DJI allegedly said a future firmware update will deal with the auto record for Vistas. We will see.
You're kind of like me. You're not going to give them much slack until they fix it.
So, but even with the Integra goggles, I went and flew both DJI and the Avatar. And coming out of the DJI goggles into the Avatar, the picture in the Avatar is so much nicer to look at. I don't know if it's the Vista or the Vista camera, or even your O3 and the Integra goggles. I still prefer the picture and the walk snails.
Well, there's a lot of other things that you're benefiting from that. You know, your builds are different. You got more choices. You can get much smaller. You still get 1080p. You probably like the feel of them on your face because you didn't have to do anything crazy to make them work.
Yeah.
You know, there's a
No,
lot.
it's the actual picture. I mean, I come off the Integra goggles and I put on the Walk Snail goggles, and it's a completely different look.
Bigger. Do you think this? Do you feel that the the picture is larger? You know, kind of like when you're wearing with the box goggles where you got a single
I don't know
screen.
that the picture is bigger. It's just a brighter image, a
Uh-huh.
clearer image. So, yeah, Chuck, I know DJI is putting out that foam, that aftermarket foam, the soft fit, but I don't know that it has the extra padding under the eyes like these do, where it kicks up the bottom of some, so you get a better view of your screen.
Right. The only one I trust right now is the iFlight because Kai's showed me, and that's exactly what needed to be fixed. Now, will those work on both the Pros and the Integras? That would be interesting to find out.
That's what they say.
Nice. Because I can live with the Integras. The Pros are I can't live with that. That sucks ass. I'm living with it, but it's 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 not the same. There's totally different, even though they're both imperfect, which just drives me crazy. You spend that kind of money and crap should fit.
So, Maddie, are you starting to feel better? I know you've been sick. Sounds like COVID. There seems to be another rash of COVID going around.
Right. 5 days.
Well, I'm sure that it fits other people or fits more people, but it's what, $35 for that phone? You buy two of these for that.
Yeah, I would.
So
I just don't. I've bought a couple of these bad boys, and I'm not.
well, the tape that you install, and I've got it right here because I got an extra one right here. It's literally just a peel and stick, and I had to take one off because I had the other foam on it that had the double stick tape under it. So I ended up having to take the other strip off, and it came right off. There was no issue taking that off. So you're not losing the factory. So if you would want to restore your goggles to factory original to sell them at a later point, it's not going to be hard to take that foam off. And
Right. Yeah, you want to keep the original, faceplate and stuff, and just. But it's nice too because you can give somebody back if you do sell your goggles. You can sell them new. They're pretty much new. They haven't been sitting against your face.
Chuck's saying he's holding out for the legit stuff. Well, I've tried a number of aftermarket foams. I get it.
Yep. I've got some sitting in my closet right there that they're gonna completely sit there forever.
Yeah.
I I'm not even taking them out of the baggie because they're not right.
I've ordered some and just the feel of them and send them right back. So.
Uh-oh, taco time.
It's taco time.
Yeah.
Link in the description did not work. Which link are you referring to, Jack Scott? Jack Rabbit? Which link are you referring to? Which one isn't working? Link to the t-shirt, but the head does. Okay. Let's see here. Let me move off of that for a second. What are we doing here? That's what I want. That's what I want. All right. Let me get this thing. So the link to the shirts does not work. So, all right, Scott, try this one. I'm going to have to go through my description again and update all the links. I don't know what's going on. So we got Teespring and Teespring hats, but the hat that Chris's dad's wearing here, that is from what's that outfit called again? Spread Shop.
Yupung since 1974.
Yeah, the Spread Shop.
Yeah.
No, that's I'll see what it's doing here. I'll edit the description later and.
Yeah, if you want the freaking really the pricey hat.
Teespring is a love-hate relationship. I love the diversity of products, but you gotta keep on them. And actually, I think what happened here is because I pasted and copied text, it didn't copy the link correctly. I gotta fix that after the stream. I can't do it during the stream. So.
All righty, Kai. It's time for tacos, man.
It's time for tacos. Yeah, it's time for dinner for us too.
You like my gold chair?
Your gold chair.
Yeah, it's the golden chair right there.
Is that to go with the? Nah, never mind. Let's not go there.
It's I call it it's where I can.
Bob, you have fun flying.
Yes.
Yeah, and like he said, hit that thumbs up thing. Where did I get the embroidered one? The hat that I'm wearing is a unicorn, the only one in existence at this point. I had Vistaprint make one up because I want to see what the quality is like. I like it, but the cost is up there. So I don't know how am I gonna proceed with this just yet. after finding out that anything going outside the U.S., I got to deal with customs and the shipping rates. No, it's not happening. So,
yeah,
I might have to do an order, a pre-order thing. Now, if I get enough people together, we'll put an order together.
It'd be great if we could find if they get a company that could just
But
throw them in the stitcher.
This one is embroidered.
Yeah, because
this one is just the outside. It's really not a full patch like he's got on his hat, which that is screen printed.
Yeah,
those are good hats too.
Yeah, this is actually a nice screen print if you look at it. The hat's great. This is a really good hat. If you like the flat bill, the flat bills aren't the most comfortable hats to wear. They're fun. But yeah.
And Dad's got some nice hats out there too. I got one sitting right.
Yep, the flat bill is all about the freaking attitude.
All right, Jims. Yeah, it's time for us to wrap it up and call it a day. So, any more words of wisdom from Dad?
Nope. Everything is moving along. It's moving, and I'm excited to fly Kai again. Fly the Kai too.
Yeah, I should be able to get in the mail, but I guarantee it's going to be Monday before you get it.
That's okay.
They're never in a hurry about anything.
Watch, I freaking fly it right into a tree the first day.
That'll be by par for the course. Break an arm.
Arm off. Oh, my Lord.
Send it right back to me for repairs. And then you got to send me the Mr. Croc there.
Mr. freaking pieces of croc.
Yeah. So I can put Humpty Dumpty back together.
Mr. Croc deserves a better life than what I'm giving him for sure.
So
he's a good bird, man. He deserves to get back in the air.
And yeah, eat more pasta, man. Just say no to sparklies.
Say no to sparklies.
All right, y'all. Take care. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us. We'll do it again next Tuesday, same time, same place. And until then, y'all have a good one. Chris, thanks for joining me again.
Thank you for inviting me.
We've been doing this for almost 3 years now.
Yeah, holy crap. It's fun. I'm still living the life, man. So
yeah. Well, you got some stuff coming up, and we'll have the Bacon Ninja in 3 weeks. So
I'm excited. I'm excited for everything. I'm excited. I'm really pissed. I've been annoyed at my camera this whole freaking live stream because something's whacked out. I probably should have did a restart. Everything's working good now, but it was like doing its jerky thing.
Come on, you made it through a whole live stream without crashing OBS. Yeah. That is an accomplishment.
See, everything's working good now. The camera's like working good, but before I was getting that whole deal. I have no idea what that is. Well, it's the computer.
You should have paid the extra $5 for the higher speed internet.
I should have paid the extra $5 or the extra $200 for the $600 computer instead of the $500 computer.
Yeah. Wow. When I want to go there.
I can't believe that thing's still working.
All right.
We'll see you.
See y'all later.
Have a good one.